Hello and welcome to Flute of the Loop. My name is Leanna and this is the Miyazawa 202 heavy wall. So if you saw the other video of the Miyazawa 202 regular wall, this is a very similar instrument except it's a heavy wall. And if you're wondering, well, what's a heavy wall instrument? Basically the tubing of this instrument is thicker than your average flute. If you're the kind of player that pushes a bunch of air through the flute so much that the flute can't keep up with you, you might want a heavy wall. Heavy wall flutes have a ton of resistance against the air, so you have to push tons and tons of air into it to make it really sing. So let's see how I do with that. Oh, and I should also say, this head joint is the solid silver MX head joint, and it just happens to be the heavy wall variation. The body is silver plated, silver keys. It's a pinless mechanism, which I love, you know I love, and a Straubinger pad situation. So yeah, let's see what it sounds like. Okay, I love playing on a heavy wall, but it does take a lot of effort. You have to put tons of air into the flute to make it sing. But when it hits that sweet spot, it is so, so beautiful. Let's see what it sounds like on a chromatic scale. Take more breaths than I normally do for the chromatic scale because of how much air this thing needs. I love it. So fun. Okay, let's see how that does on a delicate little solo like the Carmen excerpt by Bizet. Okay, I definitely had to use way more air than I'm used to on that excerpt, but you could definitely get used to it, but you also just might have bigger lungs than I do. So, yes, it sounds lovely, but I definitely had to really inhale there. So, let's see how it sounds on something very virtuosic. We're going to do the Midsummer's Night's Dream by Mendelssohn. Oh, I really like that on this one, actually. The pinless mechanism makes the fingers super, super easy, buttery smooth and fast, just like the Miyazawa 202 regular wall, but the heavy wall makes it so that all of these really staccato, super fast 16th notes speak with a good amount of presence, and I actually really love that combination. So if you're doing like fast, virtuosic things, this flute is coming for it. That's really cool. Let's try one more thing. We're gonna do the Daphnis and Chloe excerpt by Ravel and see what kind of tone colors we can get, and I'm gonna need all of the lungs for this. Okay, more lungs than that. though, for my lungs, I think that the heavy wall is too much for trying to change tone colors, because for me, in order to make it speak as gloriously as possible, I have to have sort of a constant amount of air pressure. And this is really normal for someone who doesn't normally play on a heavy wall instrument. I'm just not designed for this kind of flute, so my range of color isn't as wide as I'd like it to be. I think this flute definitely has the capacity for it. I think my lungs don't. So if you are the kind of player who just, you know, tons of air, you're constantly overplaying your flute, you need a heavy wall flute. And this one might be the one for you. So huge thank you to our sponsor for today, FluteWorks Seattle, for letting us try this amazing Miyazawa Heavy Wall 202. If you want to set up a trial, go ahead and shoot them an email or give them a call, and you can try out this thing for yourself and bring all of your lungs for it, because you will need it. And I will see you in the next video.